we have to grin and bear it. What I mean is that all Republicans aren't Republicans. If you just have to look around, you will find that there's a lot of rhinos running around. Rhinos are Republicans in name only. That means that they don't stand for anything. That means that they say they're Republicans, but they have no principles that the Republican Party stands for. And until we get more people that will do that, we will have the same kind of government we have at the national level, which means absolutely nothing. Nobody can make up their mind which way they're going to vote until they put their finger up. And the longer we tolerate that, and the longer we allow that to happen, the worst kind of government we're going to have. Now, I say that as kindly as I can. But since when, at the federal level, do we put more money into banks than we do to the people that support the banks?
That's right.
In other words,
yeah.
we put more money into automobile companies than people that buy automobiles, or that we put more money in insurance companies than we put money into insuring people. Or the thing that's so hot right now are two things. One is health care, and the other, health care is important. It's important if you don't have good health. The other is what is called cap and tax, or cap and trade. You've got a couple U.S. congressmen who supported that, and you ought to know who they are. One was John Yarmouth, the other was Ben Chandler. They thought it was more important to get brownie points with the President of the United States than they did to support the people who work in Kentucky and mine coal and make a living out of mining coal. That's the people you should be supporting if you're an elected official. Unfortunately, those two things are going to play out sometime within the next five or by the end of the year. I think we have enough votes to kill both.
Yeah.
I don't say that bragging. I say that if we get enough people in the United States to recognize what the administration is trying to do to them, then the people will rise up. And that's the most important thing. To inform the people, let them make a decision on what they want, and elect officials who believe like they believe. Then we wouldn't have these town meetings where you have screaming back and forth at each other on what is believed and what isn't believed. Because there is not one person, I don't believe, in this whole area right now that believes we ought to have a single-payer universal health care by the federal government. Well, that's what the federal government's trying to put down your throat. That's what Obamacare is all about. Single-payer universal coverage that takes care. Now, how are you going to take care of 45 million more people with less money? Think about it. That's what Obama keeps saying. We're going to take care of everybody that's sick, and we're not going to charge them anymore. Healthcare is going to be free. Who are we kidding? Healthcare is not going to be free because each and every one of you are going to have to pay for it. And the way you're going to have to pay for it is in higher taxes. Every country in the free world that has universal health care has a basic tax rate of over 60%. 60%. I'm talking about Sweden, I'm talking about Great Britain, I'm talking about Switzerland and some others. All those countries have a basic tax rate of over 60%. Now, if that's what you want, you continue to vote to put those people into office. If you want to change that, if you want to change what has been proposed by Barack Obama as President of the United States, you're going to have to switch the players. Switch the players. And the only way you can switch the players is to vote for somebody new. So you can count this, write it down. It's not that important, but write it down. We're going to do everything in our power to defeat Obamacare, and we're going to do everything in our power to defeat cap and trade or any kind of energy tax that will cost you in Kentucky the second most of any state in the union. Utah is the only one that would cost more. It'll cost you 95 cents more per dollar for each dollar you spend for health care over the next 20 years than it does now. That's because they want to do away with coal-fired generating plants completely. They don't want to build nuclear. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Nuclear is cleaner, it makes better power, and it costs a hell of a lot less over the long run to take care of the people who we want to take care of, and that's the people that are sitting here today. So let me tell you, this is not a fun time to be in Washington. And that is not the reason I'm quitting. The reason I'm quitting is I've been there 30 years, and I've served enough. It's time for somebody else to do it. Believe me, they'll do a fine job, whoever it is. But the whole point is, we've got to get some people that don't forget when they go to Washington what they went there and the principles they went and believing. If you have certain principles that you believe in deeply, you ought not change those just because you get elected to Congress. You've got to stay with those principles. We have a lot of people that are doing this all the time, taking a poll and voting whatever the poll says to vote, or listening to somebody who is trying to influence them to a big cocktail party or something. That is not the way to do it. The way to do it is to... That's the way to do it. The way to do it is to believe in something and stand for it. And until you do that, you shouldn't get elected. Mary has been with me 57 years as my wife. And we just saw one of our grandkids play for Highlands last night. They were playing male. It was more fun than you can imagine. A backup quarterback for the varsity in the second year of high school. So we're pretty proud of all our grandkids. Even Katie was there watching the game. You're a big fan. Oh, a nephew was playing. There you go. Everybody's got somebody playing on the Highlands. They got 120 people playing. Well, thank you for all showing up. It's very important that we show kind of unanimity towards where we're heading. We've got some leaders that are a little misdirected right now, but we've got to straighten them out too. Straighten the leadership out so that we all understand what they believe and what they stand for. Because if we're going to vote for leaders